Hi and welcome to Wine Around Oz. We are currently in the McLaren Vale and it's late February, so everybody is in the middle of vintage. So we've popped over to Alpha Box and Dice to visit their winemaker and owner Justin Lane to have a chat about what goes on in a small winery. This place does about 3,500 cases and they are not growers of grapes. What they do is they source their grapes from other plots that they think have the best fruit. Not all McLaren Vale, but after tasting the wines I have to say all very good.
Alpha Box and Dice has an unassuming rustic cellar door about 1 kilometre from the main street of McLaren Vale. The interior follows with Justin's theme of simple, rustic and bare bones winemaking. The winemaking style is very off the cuff and trying to think outside of the box in its approach. Pretty much everything is done by Justin, through vineyard selection right through to the labels. The whole box and dice, you might say. The wines rely heavily on Italian varietals and the label system is quite simple, alphabetical, A, B, C, D and F. The labels themselves are quite unique and the alphabet theme stays true, but the design theme is, well, chaos. The label that stands out the most is C, where the image changes between fellow winemaker Mark Lane to a self-portrait as you tip the bottle, hence changing lanes. If tasting the wine doesn't interest you, then you can always spend some time playing these puppies or having a coffee, but it has to be espresso. Justin won't make any other kind. And this is Justin Lane, the winemaker in charge of all this chaos. And this is the winery, yes, the whole winery, no bells and whistles here. This is the crusher di stemma, borrowed from a friend. These are the fermenters. This is the lab. That's the press in the background. And this is the rack and return system, which consists of the fermenting vat and an old milk chiller used to cool the ferment down.
I think these are very healthy grapes, obviously where the yeast don't.
No, as soon as about half an hour or so after we cracked it, I stuck my head in there and all my sense disappeared.
Yeah, you listen to Yoda.
Nice one,
Do or do not.
There is no try.
So how did Yoda become so wise?
Yeah, well, the training was very simple. So I like to call it the Quentin Tarantino approach to wine. So I didn't do wine school, I just did wine. I think that's what he said about films, wasn't it? I didn't do a film school, I just did films. And was working in the video shop. I worked in the bottle shop for a while too, drank a lot of the profits.
Okay, so the education might be a bit unusual, but this winemaker certainly knows how to use the limited instruments at his disposal.
Crusher di stemma, which that crusher di stemma part is not quite here at the moment. We could have the best, target top and range and set of knives and everything and all the bells and whistles in the kitchen, but if you don't have produce, not much stuff is going to come out of the kitchen. And that's saying to the methodology, if you like, for this place, really basic Spartan stuff, but we make sure that most of the winemaking decision is made out there. But on a serious note, I grew up in the Hunter Valley, so I worked in, my family are not from wine. It's on that funny little sign in there is about, we don't know this guy, and contributed nothing. My graphic designer friends poking a bit of fun at me that I don't have 5 generations of history in winemaking, but yeah, I spent most of my time in the vineyard when I left school there, doing vintages, and then I did 2 years at Charles Sturt University studying viticulture, failed miserably. Far too much time drinking product there, absolutely. Until I moved down here to South Australia, that was in '98, took an apprenticeship with Hardy's at Ranello in their sparkling wine division and bottling, so that was very good. And from there, I was living in the area down here in the Vale. I got poached by Michael Fragos, who was a winemaker at Tadachilla. He said, come and work in the cellar, we could do with good guys like you. Just don't drink everything. These are they hold about 2 tonne, these ones. It's 2,300 litres, so about 2 tonne of grapes. So they have 4 bins inside. We're going to go in this one, which, don't worry about cleaning this one up. We'll get the doctor to clean his up when he gets in here. Really fussy.
But what about the science of winemaking?
Tricky in terms of numbers. So again, taste is most important, and get the numbers to sort of back up what you're tasting. If they really are, there's a disparity between what the numbers say and what you feel, enamel coming off and all the acidity, and got pHs that are riding really high and the pH is really low, then okay, then maybe further analysis might be required, but it's not rocket science really. We like to think that we're a lot smarter than we are winemakers. I'll never promise repetition. I'm repeatedly doing the same things, but every year always going to be try to be an intelligent response to what's going on or what the fruit's doing, not cookie cutter it. And I think that's where Australia's got itself into trouble actually. It's gone down that whole cookie cutter Coca-Cola mentality and the way it's approached wine, and it's not really healthy. It's what actually separates wine from every other beverage, is that it is very complex like that, and it's not easily pigeonholed. It's not so many other variables. Farming, really, at the end of the day. So that's why beer companies probably should not own wine companies. But as I was explaining before, as far as the chemistry, it's pretty basics of the chemistry that I'm practicing. If I get in trouble, I'd go and ring someone a lot smarter than I am. So what's the problem here? But yeah, again, that is it, is trying not to introduce problems so we don't have to rely on a lot of high-tech gadgetry. That'd be my fun.
So that's it. To be a winemaker, you don't have to be a genius, you don't have to be top of the class at wine school, you don't even have to go to wine school. You don't need the latest computers, you don't need 600 acres of your own vines or the latest equipment, you don't even have to own the equipment. What you need is a passion for wine, that thing that will drive you to make the best wine you can, that thing that will make you delve deeper into what makes wine thrive, what makes it special, what sets it apart from all the other drinks out there. That desire to make nuances, textures, flavours that no other winemaker is doing, so that your wine will continue to grow every day that it's in the bottle, so that no matter what day you open it, it'll be different from if you open it on any other day. Winemaker. It's not a job, it's a lifestyle.